Good morning and happy Aloha Friday reality Ohana. Hey, I wanted to jump on real quick and give you kind of a video announcement. And specifically, it's in light of Mayor Caldwell's announcement yesterday. You may have heard that lifted restrictions of religious organizations meeting in person, meaning that with the proper safety and protocols and procedures in place, that churches can now gather again in person. Really exciting news. Just exciting that, okay, we're getting back to the place where we can see each other again and worship in person. But I want to communicate a few things. Number one is this was a bit of a surprise to every pastor, church leader, and person I know that it wasn't more gradual of the 10 people, 25, 50 people, or maybe even limiting of numbers, but it's rather, hey, you can go back to meeting as long as these things are in place. And so instead of kind of rushing into it, we want to take all that in and give it to the Lord and really think through and talk through and pray through what this means and how we go about doing that, and not just because we can just go for it, but just taking so much into consideration and really thinking of us collectively as a whole, knowing that we care so much about people and our church and the community, and everybody's in a different spot, and so we want to be really prayerful and wise and mindful about how we do that. Secondly, though, is we have a unique, I don't know if I want to say problem, but a unique situation in that our home, our church building that we call home on Sundays, even though the church is a people gathered around Jesus and has been our own homes, we normally meet at Ali'olani Elementary School, right? A part of the Hawaii Department of Education, and all of us that meet at schools in any fashion got an email over the course of our COVID season saying until further notice that all use of facilities permits have been canceled till who knows when. And again, in light of our world and how things change kind of on the fly, that could change today, or it couldn't for a long time. And it kind of looks more like that we may be having to find a new Sunday gathering location. Hopefully that's just temporary. Hopefully I'm wrong. Get that email also. But at least what it looks like right now is we are looking for a new home. And we were kind of prepped for that. We were already throwing around ideas and looking around and making calls because we just weren't sure that renting a state-owned facility was going to be allowed anytime soon at a public elementary school. So we've got some calls out trying to hear back to see where we can meet. But then kind of thirdly is we want to be mindful of when we do find a space, or mindful of our demographic, right? And how that would work for us to keep social distance and to not only abide by, what we're supposed to, but also to keep everyone safe, is we have a family church with tons of young kids. And if it would be hard to social distance for adults, it's quite the challenge to keep 3-year-olds and toddlers and babies and 100 of them running around social distancing from each other, if you can understand the adventure that would be. So when we do go back to meeting, once we find a home, we'll have to obviously do family style churches. There'll be no kids church obviously for a while, and so we'll probably, whatever place we do end up meeting, we'll probably have to bring picnic blankets and chairs and kind of stay in your little zone with your family, and we'll make it work. And it's going to be an adventure like all this has been. I hope you have seen it as an adventure with Jesus. I know there's obviously so many hard parts, but God is with us and for us, and we're still the church. And now seems like the time to transition back to meeting. But that said, since we didn't know this was happening, we don't have a home. We have a lot of kids and the factors that all entails. What we had been planning and thinking towards, because we assumed that it would be smaller gatherings allowed first, 10 people outside of your home, or 25 or 50, or there'd be limits on sizes. We were planning to go to a home church model, meaning when we're allowed to, we were going to meet in homes all around Oahu and we were going to digitally watch the sermon and worship, but we were able to fellowship safely and take communion and pray for each other, but be in social interaction, even if it's on a small scale. That's what we were planning for. So that said, that may be the option that we pursue in the interim, since we don't have a church building currently. But again, all this is up in the air. So much has changed so quickly that we want you to just know that at least this Sunday, Memorial Day weekend Sunday, I think it's the 23rd, like in 2 days from now, we, steady as she goes, digital church gathering, 10 a.m. on your platforms, in your homes. We aren't going to be gathering in person for all the reasons I just said. But this Sunday, as well as for sure next week and the coming weeks, there'll be, I'm sure, so many more updates of a way forward. But church, number one, is obviously so excited to meet. And, but we just want to be prayerful and wise and know that we're all in different places on our comfort levels. And it's all so quick that we don't want to rush or be hasty or excited, but we want to be prayerful and wise and hear from the Holy Spirit as the way in which we should go. So we love you, church, and see you on the screen Sunday, but then hopefully soon, whether it's homes or a new home, we will see each other in person. But would you join with me in asking God to provide a new home for us? Let's ask for big things, crazy things, wonderful things, and excited to see what God does with it. Love you guys, and I think I'll be seeing you soon in person. Aloha.